They're watching you, and not through satellites or hacked cameras. No, they're watching through the one thing you left outside. That's all it takes. One box, one hose, one garden gnome, and suddenly, you're a target. In America right now, home invasions are up 27% since last year. Identity theft from curbside trash, 40% spike. Organized theft rings are tracking your routines from your porch alone, and they don't need a warrant, just your laziness. So before you say, it's just sitting outside, understand this. That's how they pick you. And it starts right now. 10. A cardboard box on the curb. It's not just trash. It's a free blueprint of your life. You think that box on your curb is just garbage. Think again. That Amazon Prime logo, the packing tape, the return slip you lazily stuffed inside. That's not trash to the wrong person. That's intel. In America, the trash we leave outside has turned into a digital dossier, a free buffet of information for anyone watching. And they are watching. In cities like Atlanta, Detroit, and Houston, porch piracy has exploded by 64% in just the last year. But it's not always about stealing a package. Sometimes they're not looking to steal what's inside the box. They're profiling the person who received it. You left a Peloton box out there. That tells them you've got money, health goals, and you probably leave for work between 6 and 8 a.m. That OLED TV box leaning against the bin. You've got expensive taste and loose habits. But it's worse than that. Some criminals now work in organized rings, snapping photos of curbside trash to compare it with Zillow listings and even LinkedIn profiles. Yes, your career, your net worth estimate, your home's layout, all cross-referenced in under 20 minutes. And it all started with one lazy toss of a box. Surveillance doesn't need drones anymore. It needs your recycling. FBI reports show that identity theft based on discarded documents and packaging has spiked 40% in suburban neighborhoods. Why? Because we stopped paying attention. In a country where 60% of Americans admit they don't shred anything before putting it outside, it's open season. And let's be honest, if you live in a decent zip code and you're ordering from high-end brands, that box doesn't say trash to a thief. It says, I've got more of this inside. And it's not just thieves. Insurance investigators, repo men, debt collectors, and yes, stalkers are using this same method to track habits and value. Leaving your trash out is like giving them a map, a receipt, and a schedule. And you didn't just leave it outside. You broadcast it. 9. The lawn sign. You forgot to pull. It tells them everything about you. Let me ask you this. Did you really think that proud parent of a class of 2025 senior sign was harmless? That we stand with Ukraine flag? That campaign sign you forgot to take down after the election? You might think it's just an expression, but in America today, it's a declaration, a target. Whether you know it or not, you just handed over your belief system to anyone walking or driving by. And they're not just passers-by. They're scrapers, data harvesters, political extremists, and in the worst cases, criminals looking for ideological targets. We are in the most politically divided period since the Civil War, and you're literally advertising which side you're on, right on your lawn. A 2023 study from Pew Research showed that 54% of Americans would not want a neighbor from the opposing party. You think they won't take that into their own hands when tensions rise? There's already been a 27% increase in politically motivated vandalism on private property in the U.S. And it's not just about politics. That baby on board sign tells them you've got a child seat in the back and likely a predictable routine. Daycare drop-offs at 7:30 a.m., back by 5. Even your kid's soccer league sticker gives away your schedule. Your ring-protected decal. Ironically, it tells burglars what system they need to bypass. Everything you leave outside, even if it's supposed to deter, can inform. And the scariest part? Some of these people don't need to break in. They just want to destroy your reputation. A single photo of your front yard shared online, with just the right context, can get you doxxed, threatened, banned from your kid's school board. If you think that sounds extreme, tell that to the hundreds of Americans whose addresses were leaked this year because of political signs. The internet never forgets, and neither do the people who hate what you stand for, all because of one thing you left outside. 8. That random piece of tech you left charging on the porch. It's a beacon now. You left your Bluetooth speaker charging on the back porch overnight. No big deal, right? Wrong. That single device might have pinged out hundreds of Bluetooth signals that night. And while you slept, someone with a $30 signal sniffer, something you can buy legally on Amazon, just mapped your tech ecosystem. In America, smart tech isn't just smart, it's invasive, and when it's left outside, it's also stupid. That AirTag you left in the diaper bag by the back door, broadcasting. That used tablet you left on the garage windowsill, logging Wi-Fi networks. That smart fridge with outdoor temperature sensors. It knows when you're home, and so can anyone who's watching the signal traffic. Cybersecurity researchers have already warned that America's love of smart gadgets has created over 25 billion hackable endpoints in U.S. homes. That's 3 times more than just 5 years ago. And you left one sitting outside like a welcome mat. Hackers don't need to be inside your house to start peeling away layers of your life. A vulnerable IoT, Internet of Things device can be used to find your router, spoof your location, and even gain access to your home's network, especially if it's operating on an old firmware version, which 87% of smart devices are, according to a 2024 Norton Labs report. And it doesn't stop at hackers. Burglars are now using Wi-Fi scanning tools to look for outdoor signals, because a home filled with smart gadgets usually means a home filled with expensive tech, a high-bandwidth router, and a few strong Wi-Fi devices. That's a red flag for someone looking to cash in. Leaving a single connected device outside is like putting a lighthouse on your porch saying, "I've got stuff worth stealing, and here's the IP address." And don't even think about those smart grills or connected smokers. One California man's connected BBQ system was hijacked in July, and his entire home network went down because of a grill. You want your home to be smarter? Start by keeping that tech inside, because once it's out, so are you. 7. A pair of work boots, and they'll know when you're gone and what you do. Most people think a pair of boots by the door just says you're hardworking. In America, it says a whole lot more. Those steel-toed Red Wings you left drying outside don't just scream manual labor. They whisper your entire daily schedule to anyone paying attention. Contractors, landscapers, construction workers. Every one of those jobs follows a clock. You're out by 6:15, home by 5, and you left the evidence sitting in plain sight. That's not just lazy. That's risky. Criminal profiling groups now use AI-enhanced camera data to identify job-based routines. They can recognize footwear, uniforms, vehicle types, and they use that to know exactly when your home is empty. Insurance reports from State Farm show that homes with consistent exterior indicators of trade labor are 43% more likely to be targeted during daylight hours, because crooks know the drill. You're too exhausted to notice, too predictable to miss. And let's not ignore the class angle. Those boots say you work hard, but to some, they also say you don't have time to fight back, that you're stretched thin, that maybe you're behind on tech upgrades or security systems or neighborhood watch apps, that you're easy. In 2025, everything is data, and criminals are profiling not just what you own but who you are. One glance at a pair of boots and they'll guess you've got power tools inside, a truck, maybe even a gun safe. But here's the kicker. It's not just burglars. Employers, too, are scraping outdoor imagery of employees' homes using open-source image databases. You left out your work boots and a logo hat? Now they know you moonlight. Now they've got cause for a disciplinary review, all because you forgot to bring in your shoes. In America, we used to wear our work with pride. Now we're being punished for broadcasting it. And if you think that sounds dystopian, maybe it's because we're already living in the opening chapters of it. 6. Believe it or not, your garden decorations just sold you out. What's supposed to be charming, innocent, even homey, like a pair of wind chimes, a wooden American flag, or a little gnome, can actually be a goldmine for people who know what they're looking at. That quirky garden statue you picked up in Asheville? That handcrafted cedar planter box you spent 3 weekends building? Those aren't just expressions of taste. They're indicators of income, location history, skill sets, and sometimes even ethnicity or religion. It's wild but true. Behavioral analysts working in private security have warned for years that certain outdoor decorations are used to profile homeowners without ever stepping on the property. A home with custom-made furniture on the porch. That's likely someone with advanced tools inside, someone with the knowledge to fix and build, which means power tools, spare materials, a garage full of salvageable gear. In 2024, the Department of Homeland Security even issued a memo warning about targeted casing techniques being used in wealthy suburban neighborhoods. And one of the top signs they listed, customized outdoor landscaping paired with artisanal decor. Translation: if your porch looks curated, so does your wallet. Criminal rings from California to New Jersey now instruct their scouts to ignore homes with bland or deteriorating front yards and focus on those with well-maintained, personalized exteriors. But it doesn't stop at thieves. Political activists, protest groups, and yes, even federal contractors have used aerial imaging and satellite data to geotag properties based on outdoor religious or ideological symbols. A visible crucifix in a garden can land you on a marketing list, or a blacklist, depending on who's compiling it. You thought that old Route 66 license plate was just nostalgia? It's regional data. That cast iron "don't tread on me" snake? It could be all it takes for someone to mark your house. You left it outside because you thought it was safe, or cute, or irrelevant. But to the right eyes, it's a signature, a calling card, a reason to target you. All of it was preventable, and all of it started because you left your personality where anyone could reach it. 5. A cracked hose, an open spigot. You just gave them away inside. Here's something almost no one considers dangerous. Your garden hose. That's right. A basic, sun-baked, half-wound hose left stretched across your lawn isn't just a yard tool. It's an invitation and a warning sign. That tiny oversight tells the wrong kind of person everything they need to know about your habits, your home security, and whether or not you're paying attention. First off, the obvious. If your hose is out midday on a weekday, odds are you're not home. Nobody's watering the lawn at 2 p.m. on a Tuesday unless you work remote. And if you do, your car would be there. The absence of one combined with the presence of the other. Big clue. But it goes deeper than that. Home insurance fraud rings, yes, they exist, have started flagging properties with unattended water systems as prime targets for indirect damage. Think someone breaking a spigot intentionally to cause a basement flood. Think accidental leaks from a hose bib suddenly rusted out. And what happens after? You're forced to file. And once you're in the system, you're in the system. But wait, it gets creepier. That same hose can be used to access your house. In 2023, a spate of break-ins in Phoenix and Tulsa revealed thieves using connected hoses to flood foundation vents or jam outdoor sump pumps, forcing the homeowner to come outside or open the garage, all while another criminal slipped inside through the back. Even children's outdoor toys left near the hose reel become tools in these setups. The average American underestimates how easily exterior water systems can be exploited, but here's a number you won't forget. 8,200 water-based burglaries were reported last year in the U.S. alone, and over 75% started with outdoor hose tampering. You left it out because you were in a hurry. You thought it was harmless. You didn't realize you were showing everyone that you're either inattentive or distracted. And in a country that's more surveilled, more desperate, and more digitally interconnected than ever before, that cracked hose might as well be a red carpet to your front door. 4. Your car, sitting in the driveway, like an open diary with no lock. Let's make something crystal clear. If your car is parked in your driveway overnight, especially with anything visible inside, it's not just a risk. It's a liability. And I don't mean just for theft. I mean for surveillance, for data scraping, for full-spectrum targeting. Your car, to the right person, is like reading your calendar, your grocery list, your financial situation, and your location habits all in one glance. A 2024 report from the National Crime Prevention Council revealed that over 77% of vehicle-related crimes weren't about stealing the car. They were about gathering intel on the owner. Think about that. If you've got a gym bag in the passenger seat, that means you're gone early in the morning. A church bulletin on the dashboard? Now they know your religious affiliation. A work badge on the visor. Welcome to LinkedIn-level targeting. Worse, nearly every vehicle sold in the U.S. since 2020 has onboard Bluetooth, Wi-Fi tethering, or infotainment systems that store personal data. When you leave your car outside, powered down but still connected, that system is broadcasting packets of info. Thieves with nothing but a laptop and a $100 signal interceptor can extract contacts, locations, even your home Wi-Fi network name, and they can do it without even opening the door. Ever wonder why so? Many people report break-ins where nothing is taken. It's because the thing they came for was digital. And now they've got your routine, your address, and your contact web. And God help you if you leave a garage door remote inside. That's not just dumb. That's practically handing them a key. In one case out of Indianapolis this summer, a woman's entire home was cleared out because the thieves spotted a veterinary appointment card in her glove box. They knew she'd be at the clinic, and they had her address. A 32-minute window, that's all it took. You left your car outside because you were tired, or lazy, or you thought it was a quiet neighborhood. But in this country, in this economy, quiet is just the sound of someone waiting for you to slip up. 3. That old couch on the curb. You might as well hang a sign that says desperate. Strange how something as simple as an old recliner or busted bookshelf left on the sidewalk can tell a complete story, not just about your house, but about your life trajectory. To the casual neighbor, it's just a junk day. But to the trained eye, that furniture is screaming, and what it's saying is, this person is either in transition or in trouble. In America right now, where eviction filings are up 38% year over year and mortgage delinquencies just hit their highest rate since 2009, the sight of furniture on the curb isn't just common, it's a signal to thieves, scammers, repo agents, even debt collectors. Investigative field agents for banks and property management firms literally use these visual signs as physical cues that someone's financial status is collapsing. And it gets darker. Organized theft crews now deliberately target homes with discarded furniture because it often means one of three things: you're moving, you're broke, or you're not home enough to stop them. All three of those conditions mean vulnerability, and predators in this country are trained to sniff that out. Think about the kind of stuff we throw out. Old cribs, worn-out office chairs, expired kitchen appliances. Every item out there says something about your household makeup. You've got kids, you work remote, you're downsizing, and they know how to cross-reference that data with public records, Facebook Marketplace posts, even Zillow photos. Oh, and let's not forget about the new furniture packaging you toss next to it. You just replaced your old couch with a $2,400 sectional from West Elm. Now they know your taste and your budget. Police departments in cities like Phoenix, Charlotte, and Sacramento have issued multiple warnings this year alone about criminals casing neighborhoods not through hacking or drones, but by driving around looking at trash. That's it. No apps, no satellites, just good old-fashioned observation. And you made it easy, because you were tired, because it was garbage day, because you didn't think someone would build a psychological profile of your home based on what you got rid of. But they did. Because you left it outside. 2. Holiday decorations, the most predictable mistake Americans make every year. There's no time of year that paints a more vivid target on your back than the holidays, and you're the one stringing the lights. Those inflatable Santas, pumpkin skeletons, and 4th of July flags you proudly display aren't just seasonal flair. They're calendars, clocks, schedules, and they let the whole world know exactly when you're likely to be out of the house. In 2024, the FBI noted a 19% spike in home burglaries during the top 5 holiday weekends, and it's not a coincidence. Criminals don't need to guess when you'll be gone. They just look at the decorations. Halloween decor still up on November 2nd. That means you were probably out late at a party. A menorah in the window? That marks a multi-day window of celebration and likely distraction. A Christmas nativity scene on the lawn the second week of December? That signals you're a traditionalist, which means Christmas Eve services, late-night family visits, and a high chance you're out past dark. And let's be blunt, burglars love the holidays because they know you've been shopping. Amazon boxes, Macy's bags, Best Buy drop-offs, all sitting in the garage, the closet, or the living room, combined with festive lawn decor? That's a jackpot. But it gets worse. New data from the National Retail Federation shows that over 70% of Americans post pictures of their holiday setups online. That means anyone with half a brain, or worse, a grudge, can match your porch display with your geotagged Instagram story and know exactly where you live and what's inside. You might think you're just being festive. But in today's America, with digital surveillance on the rise and local police departments underfunded, that reindeer on your roof is basically screaming, "We're distracted and full of expensive stuff." The sad truth: every light, every wreath, every carefully placed decoration is one more breadcrumb, one more hint, one more weak point. You put it out with joy, but someone else saw it as an opportunity. 1. Your dog bowl, the most overlooked clue that you're vulnerable. Of all the things you could leave outside, This one gets almost zero attention, and yet it's one of the most tactically useful pieces of data a criminal could ask for. The dog bowl, or even worse, the one labeled Max or Bella in big cheerful letters. You think it shows you're a responsible pet owner. It doesn't. It shows you're predictable. It shows you have routines, and depending on the breed or size of the bowl, it tells them exactly how dangerous or how harmless your dog is. A tiny ceramic dish with paw prints? You've got a Yorkie. A pink elevated feeder? You've got a pampered Frenchie. In both cases, they now know your dog isn't a threat. And here's the real kicker. If the bowl is outside, they also know that your dog spends significant time indoors. That means when they breach the back door at 2 p.m. while you're at work, there's no Doberman waiting to tear them apart. Only a frightened pet curled up under the coffee table. Animal control experts who work with law enforcement have reported a surge in dog-related home profiling, especially in suburban areas where fences are high, cameras are sparse, and people assume a dog is enough deterrent. But it's not anymore. In fact, criminals have adapted. They carry treats, noise machines, even fake toys soaked in tranquilizer spray. And they know, because you left the bowl outside. They know if your dog is low maintenance or high energy. They know how many times a day it eats when you walk it, whether it's kenneled or free roaming. It's not just a bowl. It's a routine log, a behavioral chart, a silent metal billboard that says, here's when I'm home, here's when I'm not. Combine that with a collar left outside, or a leash hanging off a hook near the garage, and they have a near-complete schedule of your dog's life. And yours. You wanted convenience. But in the end, what you really gave them was a blueprint. And all they needed was one thing you left outside. You think you're safe because you locked the door. They don't need to come through the door. They already came through the stuff you left outside. The trash, the tech, the garden flag. It all told a story. Your story. Your schedule, your income, your beliefs, your weak spots, all mapped out before you even poured your morning coffee. In a country where home break-ins are up 27%, porch thefts are up 64%, and organized crews are tracking routine behavior using AI, being careless isn't just sloppy, it's dangerous, because the next time someone targets your house, it won't be random. It'll be personal, calculated, and completely preventable. So go outside, right now. Look around. What's still sitting there? What's still giving them everything they need to take what's yours? Because the biggest threat to your safety isn't what you locked up. It's what you left outside.